dry heaving on the couch. You guys, it is heating up out here. Gosh, I have just like missed these characters so much. I'm still a little confused. Hi all, it's me, Allison. Welcome back to my channel. This week I have a bit of a to-do list as far as reading goes. I am in the middle of two separate series and I really want to finish them this week. For context, last month I read the first book in the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown, and to say I had conflicting feelings is a bit of an understatement. This was actually the book that my book club was assigned to read for the month of July, and I was a little hesitant. I'm not usually like a science fiction kind of girl. I did like Ender's Game like when I was in the 9th grade, and this book very much gave off like Ender's Game vibes. And obviously I was obsessed with like all the dystopian movies that came out in like the early 2010s. It's not like this is something that was completely out of my wheelhouse. It was just something that I would have probably never picked up if my book club had not picked it. So as I was reading Red Rising, I kind of was like on the fence of my feelings about it, because like on the one hand I was really confused about the world building and what was kind of going on, and also like there was like maybe like half a percentage of romance in the entire book. So I was really pushing myself to maybe like actually focus on the plot rather than to focus on the romance. Obviously, when there was a romantic scene, I was gobbling it up, and that was when I was the happiest while reading this book. And when I finished it, I kind of had like an unsettled feeling. I was really on the fence on whether I should finish the series, because the first book, to be honest, was a little hard to get through. I've had friends who have finished this series and completely love it and have told me that, hey, book 1 is probably not the best one you're gonna read. The next 2 are beyond words. And I am thoroughly experienced in book 1 not being great, but the rest of the series being so worth it. And because I have seen that time and time again personally, I decided that I wanted to give the rest of this series a chance. This week, my goal is to read book 1, Golden Sun, and book 2, I think it's called Morning Star. Those are my 2 goals for physical reading this week. Also, last week, the 3rd book in the Assistant to the Villain series just came out, and I have listened to the first 2 on audiobook, and my Libby Borrow popped up so early, so I am able to listen to it now, which I didn't think I was going to be able to listen to it this early, but I was blessed with the Libby loan. So this week I also want to at least start listening to Accomplice to the Villain, which is the 3rd book in that series, and see where we go. My main priority is to finish the next 2 books in the Red Rising series this week, and I think I can do it. These books aren't like super thick, so fingers crossed that I can get this done. So I'm gonna go ahead and dive into Golden Sun on my Kindle. I just wanted to clarify that the whole reason that I really do want to go ahead and jump into this book is because I did not realize how much Red Rising affected me emotionally until a couple days after I had finished it. I was feeling very like mid about the series. I was like, maybe I won't finish the books. It's fine. I'm like interested, but not like, I don't know if I'm interested enough to continue. But then I saw a book edit on TikTok and I found myself dry heaving on the couch. I mean, I was sobbing my eyes out. The most gut-wrenching thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's when I realized that maybe this book meant more to me than I thought. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and give Golden Sun a try. And people say that this one's really good. I actually am really excited to see what's kind of going on, because in the first book, it's kind of like Divergent / like Fourth Wing Harry Potter vibes. Like they're basically in an academy trying to like win favor with basically like sponsors so that they can get internships moving forward and like basically start launching their career as a gold. That's all fine and dandy, but I've seen this film before. Now we're out of the academy, and Darrow, our main protagonist, is working with the governor, who he is actually undercoverly trying to basically murder. And I'm excited to go into this one because I know it's going to be very action-packed, and I know that the very minuscule romance that we got in book 1 will flourish a little bit more in this one. So let's see how much this one affects me. So I just got back from work and I wanted to give a little update about where I'm at in both series that I'm trying to finish this week. So as of the Red Rising series, I am 10% in. Obviously, I didn't make it that far. I'm hoping to maybe get to 20 before I go to bed tonight. But so far, I am understanding this book a little bit better than I did when I first started Red Rising. I don't think I completely understood what was actually going on in Red Rising until about 50% in. So it's good to see that at 10, I'm actually kind of comprehending things. These books are kind of heavier than Accomplice to the Villain. So it might take me a little bit longer to read these. My goal is to potentially have book 2 done by maybe Thursday. Wednesday would be ideal, but Thursday seems more realistic because I have a busy week this week. Nothing extremely exciting is going on other than Darrow is being traded to a different home, so therefore he's not working with the arch governor anymore, which clearly can screw up his plans a little bit to infiltrate the arch governor's home. As far as Accomplice to the Villain, I really didn't get that far at all in the audiobook. I'm about 6 or 7% in, and gosh, I have just missed these characters so much. The thing that I love about this series is that it's super comedic and everything is just not that serious, even when it is. So, and also I have been waiting 3 books for Tristan and Evie to finally confess their feelings for each other. Last book, we got a little bit of something. They did kiss a couple of times, but now it's they're trying to avoid each other due to his magic tends to act up around her and he's scared he's going to hurt her. So he's trying to stay away. Therefore, he's literally torturing himself. The scene I just listened to is that he refused to close his office door because he wouldn't be able to hear Evie humming if he closed his door, which I just think is so sweet. He just loves her so much and she just has no idea, bless her heart. I'm hoping that this one will get more of their romance pretty early on so that we can enjoy the rest of this book with them being together. But I feel this might be a series in which they get together at the end. But I'm also really excited and have a newfound ambition to listen to this because I know that this is going to be made into a TV show. So I'm going to read a little bit of Golden Sun before I have to head off to a work barbecue, hence the outfit. But yeah, let's see if we can get a little bit further. Okay, so it's actually Tuesday evening. I had a pretty busy day today, so I haven't had a lot of time to actually read and or listen to my audiobook, but a couple of me and my girls went to go get dinner, and so on the way there and back, I did listen to a little bit of Accomplice to the Villain, and you guys, it is heating up out here, okay? First of all, if you don't have any knowledge about this series at all, this whole entire series is a man yearning for his assistant, and it is a very slow burn. We got maybe a singular kiss last book, and then they were told that they would be each other. They were told they were going to be each other's downfall, and so then he started to pull away even though he's completely in love with her. Anyway, in this one, they just kissed. She finally admitted that she's in love with him, and it's still the yearning that we love so much. He still cannot fathom being with her if he is going to potentially hurt her due to the prophecy in which states that he will be her downfall. Okay, I think so far this might be my favorite one in the series. I'm actually really excited. And this book, we're getting a little bit of Kingsley's POV, which is so nice. Kingsley is the prince who turned into a frog and is also the villain's best friend. As far as Golden Sun goes, I didn't get that far as far as reading. I think I got to 15%. And I'm still a little confused, I'll be honest. I thought that maybe after I got through Red Rising and I got kind of used to Pierce Brown's writing, that this one would be a breeze. But unfortunately, unfortunately, it's still a little confusing. I'm comprehending every third word, if you will. Or I hope a lot of this buildup that's in the beginning of this book is leading to something that I'm like going to be like foaming at the mouth for. At this moment in time, I'm unsure if that is the case, but it has come to my attention that he is no longer with Mustang/Virginia at this moment in time. And they're like the whole reason I wanted to finish the series. So hopefully they get back together pretty quickly. All right. Happy Wednesday. Unfortunately, I didn't read a single word of Golden Sun last night. I'm just having the same issues that I had while I was reading Red Rising. Like, there are just a lot of like words and things that belong in this world that never got properly explained. And so I'm like kind of sitting here like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? There are some points where I'm like, wow, I'm really picking this up, no problem. And then there are other times where I'm like, what is this? Who are these people? Like, I don't know. I'm not enjoying it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm only 31% in now. I did read a little bit when I got home. I just got to a scene where I've been seeing all over TikTok every time people talk about Golden Sun, they talk about the gala scene and like Darrow like causing this huge like drama at the gala. I finally got to that and he did cause some drama. He did cause some drama. Bless his heart. Honestly, like as I'm reading this, I can't tell if Darrow is actually like super intelligent or if he's literally flying by the seat of his pants. And I felt like this in Red Rising too, which I think that was the point of Red Rising. We finally got to see Mustang again. She finally makes her return. Thank God. She's the only person in the freaking solar system that will knock some sense into him, and God knows he needs it. Hopefully they can kind of like make up soon. They seem to be fighting. Sweet. Hopefully they'll make up soon and we can kind of get that ball rolling, because that is half the reason. No. That's about 90% of the reason why I wanted to keep going, because I was interested in Darrow and Mustang's relationship. Obviously, this series is not a romantasy. It's not a romance series. It has nothing to, their romance is such a subplot, if you can even consider it that, okay? But give me a literal inch and I will read the whole book. I'm about 42% into Accomplice to the Villain, which obviously that's a little bit easier for me because I can listen to it. We're kind of like all over the place, I'll be honest. Like it seems as the gang is trying to figure out like another part of this like prophecy curse that they've been kind of like living by, and this curse can like help save Tristan's magic. They're searching for that. I've always loved Evie's character in these books, but I'm really enjoying her character growth this book. As you can probably imagine, she is the accomplice to the villain. She's kind of like really grown a backbone since book one, and I like to see how like even Tristan gets really impressed by her sometimes and like does things that he would have not necessarily thought of because he's got a one-track mind. Gosh, it's just so good. And like the banter is funny. Obviously the yearning is beyond words. I'm just enjoying it a lot. And these are really fun audiobooks to listen to because they're so humorous. My plan is to really dive in deep and get at least Golden Sun done by Friday, if that Thursday. If I get to Friday, that's fine. And then I can take all Saturday to read Morningstar. But like I said, I'm reading these books really slow. I'm laying in my bed right now listening to Accomplice to the Villain. I just heard a quote that was so relatable. It said, "The greatest power is bestowed to those who are strong enough to feel emotions and feel them thoroughly." That is literally me to an absolute T. I feel like I am so emotional in all things, and sometimes it makes me feel like I'm weak because I'm vulnerable, but no, there is strength and vulnerability. Period, Evie. Go off. I am about 62% into Accomplice to the Villain. I have gotten through all of my reading / listening so slow this week. My gosh. I just have one thing to say about this series. I understand building up a relationship. I understand building up a slow burn. But we are in book 3, and anytime they get a little bit close to expressing actual feelings for once, or kissing, or something always happens in which they have to either pull away or they refuse each other again. It's getting a little annoying, okay? Like, we're in book 3, we're over halfway done with this book. Let's go ahead and let them be together for once, okay? Like, this is getting a little monotonous, I will say. I love a good slow burn and I love a good build up, but like, give us something. Stop giving and taking away. I'm begging you. But I got to a pretty good, decent stopping point in my audiobook, so now I'm gonna read for the rest of the night. I will be getting a dent into Golden Sun. So I'm about 54% into Golden Sun. It's almost 8. My bedtime is at 10:30, so I'm gonna read for 2.5 hours. So I finished Golden Sun last night. Oh my gosh. As you guys already know, I was really struggling to get through this book this entire week, but similar to how I felt in Red Rising. But when you get to 70%, there is no putting your Kindle down. I mean, oh my gosh. And let me tell you something right now. The cliffhanger in Golden Sun was... There is no possible way that I could not go into Morningstar after the way that ended. The betrayal, the drama, the cliffhanger. Oh my gosh. I don't want to say anything, obviously, because spoilers, this would literally spoil the whole book. But like, I ended up giving this book a 3.5 stars just because it took me so long, one, to read it, but also because I felt like I was really like dragging my feet. And there were like certain parts in the book that I was uninterested, and then other parts where I was like really super interested. What I've come to find, especially reading Pierce Brown and like his type of writing, that like anytime there's a battle scene, I can't visualize it in my head, and then I start to kind of glaze over. And unfortunately, this book was about starting a war. So as you can imagine, there were a lot of like battle scenes that I was just kind of like, you know what I mean? So because of that, I couldn't give it a 4 stars. Like, plot for sure was a 4-star, but like the reading experience as a whole was really difficult for me. I shouldn't be glazing over this much while reading a book. I still really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really excited to get into Morningstar. But now it's Saturday, so I'm running a couple errands. I need to go to TJ Maxx and Trader Joe's, so TJ's and TJ. While I'm doing that, I'm going to be trying to finish Accomplice to the Villain. I have 2 hours left on the audiobook. So I will finish it today, and you will hear my thoughts. Okay, so I am officially done with Accomplice to the Villain, and turns out that this is actually going to be a 4-book series. I was under the impression that this was the last book in the series, which was making me a little upset considering we weren't getting a lot of like Tristan and Evie like towards the end. Like, I felt like we were waiting too long for them to get together if this was going to be the last book. Thank goodness, the next one will be all about them. We waited once again 3 books for them to be together, and they better be together for the entirety of book 4. Overall, I think it was actually my favorite book in the series. It was entertaining. We got to see different POVs, and overall, we just saw a lot of character development between Tristan and Evie, and a lot of other characters that were sidelined a lot, I felt like, in the beginning of the series, but now they're kind of getting some spotlight. 4 stars for Accomplice to the Villain. Now I am just taking a little break from reading just to like let my brain reset. Hopefully I will read Morningstar at some point, but unfortunately I'm just not going to be doing it in this vlog. So after a week of reading and listening, trying to finish these 2 series, it turns out that I haven't finished them at all. I still have one more book technically in the first trilogy of Red Rising, and then I have book 4 in the Assistant to the Villain series that's not even named yet, but is on Goodreads, so I best believe that I went ahead and marked it. I'm glad that I gave the Red Rising series another try. I think that at the end of the day, like, I do really enjoy this series. It just takes me a lot of effort and time to appreciate it as much as I should. But that is the end of this week's reading log. Be sure to like and subscribe if you don't mind. I'll have social media links down below. I have Instagram, TikTok, Goodreads, my podcast. So be sure to check out all of those links down below and comment down below your favorite series and why it's your favorite series. I am looking to dive into more series now that the fall's kind of coming. I feel like the fall is the perfect time to get cozy and like read an 8-book series. So if you have any suggestions, let me know. But for now, bye guys.